welcome to Southern Indiana Now. You found the show that explores life and all the things in Southern Indiana. Of course, that's why we have the name. All right, southernindiananow.com. You can find it any place that you can get a podcast. If you'd like to download that at iHeart, Spotify, on our website, YouTube, all the places, Apple, that you can find a podcast, you can find this show. We're happy to bring you fantastic guests each and every week, and you can find new episodes on Wednesdays. Got a great show lined up for you today, and it's kind of titled On the Move. So we have lots of things ready for you to love all about Southern Indiana.
And we're hanging out this morning with Tracy Rhea with Southern Indiana Corvette Club. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us. And of course, you're part of our Hoosier Homestead feature, because in Southern Indiana, we love to just be with other people, and that notion of community is super important. Let's talk about the community that exists at the Southern Indiana Corvette Club. How often you get together? Obviously, it's a Corvette Club, so I'm going to assume most people have Corvettes. So
Right. Well, we have a lot of members. Right now, we have on our Facebook page like 94 members. We have like 34 members that, we all have Corvettes. We like to hang out. We go to a lot of Corvette shows. We did a cruise September for Riley. We started that at Bob Pointer Chevrolet. We drove to Salem Speedway. Then we had lunch at Huber's. And then we went to Larry Bartley's Corvette Restoration Tour.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds super fun.
That was a big cruise on September 21st.
Okay. So you get together, sounds like often.
2021. Yes. We have been doing this since 2014.
Okay. So it's been around for quite a while. And if someone would like to get connected, did you certain way to contact you? Is Facebook the best way?
Facebook is the best way. We are under Sick Vet, SICKVETTE.
So let's talk about some of your memorable moments with the club. Maybe it's a drive you took or something, or fun vehicle you saw, fun Corvette, some of the features.
Right.
Let's go into that.
Last year, there was three Corvettes, three couples. We did Route 66 from Illinois all the way to Santa Monica, California.
Oh, my goodness. How long did that take you?
That we had 15 days. We took the southern route, which is Route 66, got to Santa Monica, then we headed up north on the Pacific Coast Highway, up to Sacramento, over to Reno, Nevada, stayed there a day, and then we headed back the northern route through Utah, Colorado, Kansas, and then back home to Indiana.
All right. That sounds like a great trip. Well, it sounds like a great group of people. I'm sure there's all personalities, and everybody's backgrounds are different.
Well, a lot of us work at Toyota Material Handling in Columbus. So we do have people from Bedford, Trafalgar, Brownsburg, Indianapolis, and as far south as Scottsburg and Kentucky, New Albany. So we have a lot of people. And we also do, in March, we do a Corvette Expo in Pigeon Forge. And that's usually a 4 to 5 day. We usually go down on a Wednesday and stay till Sunday.
Do get connected with the Southern Indiana Corvette Club. Maybe you're just kind of eyeing which one you might like. But anyway, it's a great group of folks. We'll be back here. I'm Kelly Trask.
Kickstart your morning every morning with Jay's Morning Wake Up Call on 92.7 WXKU.
And we're back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask, and for our Hoosier Hustle segment, we are talking today with Bob Jennings, part and actually just one of the pioneers here of the Plymouth Superbird Club. And let's talk about that, Bob. Tell me a little bit about your club and what sparked your love for the Plymouth Superbird.
Kelly, in 1980, I saw my first Superbird. If you've ever seen one,
yes.
They were made for NASCAR. They've got a great big 6-foot-tall rear wing, 3-foot-tall front, or 3-foot-long nose, uglier than heck. And I saw one and thought, someday. And about 20 years later, I had just come out of heart surgery, and one became available I couldn't afford, and my wife said, how much longer do you think you're going to wait? So we bought the first one. I've loved them ever since. They made 7 colors officially, And I don't know, at some point I just decided I needed to have all those colors. So my love with them includes driving the cars everywhere, as we'll talk, I'm sure, in a few minutes.
You mentioned you own 7 muscle cars. That's 7 Plymouth Superbirds. That's amazing in every color. So I love that. For someone looking to start their own muscle car collection, what tips would you share about maybe looking for sourcing or avoiding common pitfalls, things along those lines?
If you're going to buy one of these, you get a lot of people, primarily guys, but not always, that are they're fulfilling a dream, and the problem is they let the dream overcome their common sense. So the first thing I'd suggest, you're going to someday need to sell that car. Buy a car that is original and non-modified, because that will bring the most resale. Secondly, in recent years, particularly as values have gone up, the fraud in the market is just like fraud throughout real life. Check very carefully to make sure what you think you're buying is what you're buying. Get a friend, an expert, or something like that. And then third, let's recognize these cars are old cars. They are gonna need work. I've had so many people say, oh, I bought this car and then I had to replace this or that. Come on, guys. These are 30, 40, 50-year-old cars. They're going to need replacing parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's your guide, Kelly.
That's a fantastic bit of advice for different people out there looking to get into that type of thing. And, of course, share maybe a collection close to what you have. I understand you made a pretty interesting trip in one of your cars.
The first one I bought, my white one, I've actually driven it to Alaska from Southern Indiana, not once, but twice. And then I drove it to Key West. And in 2022, which was the second trip, I finished it and I thought, well, that's it. I'm 70 now. That's it. And then a year or so later, somebody said to me, oh, you're 70. You can't do this. And I thought, excuse me, but the hell I can't. So I talked about driving it to somewhere that no one's ever seen one. I have a black Superbird, and I decided we're going to drive that to the Arctic Ocean. And my son and I talked about it, and I said, I think it'd be a great father-son trip. So last summer in July of 24, we drove from Southern Indiana to Inuvik on the Arctic Ocean, and just shy of 8,000 miles round trip. And the trip of a lifetime, great pictures, everything you can imagine. It fulfilled all those dreams.
Wow, fantastic. I love that story. Tell me one thing that is unique or special about the Superbird that just has kept your attention.
These cars are, as I like to say, they are, for many people, young and old, they are memories of better times, I guess, in the past, whether that's correct or not. Every time I stop, you get people of all ages, races, sexes, religions. A couple of great stories. One of them, I had driven about 25 miles with a truck following me way up in the Yukon. When I stopped, this guy jumped out of the truck and came running up to me and said, Mister, would you mind waiting? My son has to see this car. I don't mind. It's about the enjoyment. He brings his son up. He's, what do they call it? He's autistic, but he's nonverbal. Mm-hmm. And his son comes up and he's putting his hands all over the wing. And I looked at his dad and I said, put him in the front seat. And the next thing, I'm a big, old, grizzled old guy, and so is his dad. You got these two old, tough guys crying because it's so noticeable. That has been repeated in the 25 plus years I've owned these cars.
That's pretty unique that cars can bring people together and just span generations and interest, and everybody loves a beautiful old vehicle. They just do. Brings up an old story, and everybody has one. I remember when so-and-so had that. So if someone, especially in Southern Indiana, would like to get connected to your car club or any like that, what's the best way that they can do that for even if they're involved in the Plymouth Superbirds or something different? What's the best way to get connected, Bob?
I would say you go to our website, which is JenningsWingCars.com, and you can contact us through there. I have 11 of these wing cars now, all 7 colors plus a few extras just in case.
Wow.
So they can reach
just in case you can't make up your mind that day. I love it.
You never know.
All right. Fantastic. You can reach out to Bob Jennings or the Plymouth Superbirds or any of the wing car clubs, and they'll get you connected. And even if you don't own one, it's a great group of people. Great way to get started in networking in Southern Indiana. We'll be back right here. I'm Kelly Trask.
Join me, Jay Hubbard, weekdays from 6 to 10 every morning. It's Jay's Morning Wake Up Call blending today's greatest country hits with local news, weather, and a couple laughs. Jay's Morning Wake Up Call on 92.7 WXKU.
So we have an impromptu visit with Curt Nichols in the studio. You never know who's going to come by Southern Indiana now, or what we're doing. So you were doing weed control.
Oh, weed control. Yeah, you have to do that this time of year at any of the.
It's a good day for it.
The place is a great day. A little overcast. The rain comes and the weeds grow. So we're trying to control that.
Any special thing you want to talk about?
Well, a lot of great things going on at the radio station. We have our fall or spring sports broadcast well underway with baseball and softball. Jay Hubbard is covering Seymour Owls and Lady Owls sports.
Love it.
That's always a great time of the year, people getting outside and enjoying the environment. And, of course, I'm doing the PA work for Seymour Baseball, and that's always one of the highlights of my year as well. Yeah. So,
and you have a new grandbaby?
New grandbaby.
Brand new little guy?
Clay William is in this world. He's 2 weeks old as of this coming weekend, and so he's gained a pound. The parents, Bree and Jason Roll.
That's about how fast I gain it too.
That's exactly right. So, I find that the pounds come on and they don't go away the older you get.
That's true.
But no, they're doing well. Always a blessing in life when you can add a grandchild to the group. And
it is.
So that's
like back in the day when you'd have a baby, they would do like an announcement. Now it's just like. Now you're being broadcasted everywhere. Social media. We just did radio. Now you have on camera. So everybody's going to know about this kid.
Just blowing it up out there. So
it's getting some press.
So a lot of fun at the Nichols household and the Roll household, and proud grandparents.
Well, I love it. All right. Well, this is just a random Friday here down the Radio Ranch and the Southern Indiana Now podcast ranch. I don't know.
Congratulations on the great start to the podcast. A lot of great guests, not including me.
Well, you were the star. We were waiting. We couldn't wait. We had to get to your people to get you on the calendar.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. And again, congratulations. Very well done. And looking forward to future podcast
you never know what we're
going to
do.
Guests and
I know we were talking about adding a segment. I bet you didn't know. Can I tell you? I bet you didn't know. I bet you didn't know what Erica's favorite drink is.
Is it Mountain Dew?
Nope. Red cream soda.
Red cream soda.
I know.
Now that's a girl after my own heart.
I'm telling you.
It has
she is
to be
a Hoosier.
red.
Even drink something that's red.
Absolutely. That's the official soft drink of Seymour and South Central Indiana.
Red wine, Hoosier, red cream. I don't know.
I've gotten them mixed up before, actually.
That could be a new thing. Maybe we'll invent a new Hoosier drink. I think it just happened.
You heard it here first.
All right. Something to try for this weekend. Lots of events lined up for you in Southern Indiana. Of course, the Rails Craft Brew and Eatery celebrates its 10-year anniversary. They're located in Jackson County, Indiana. You can celebrate National Travel and Tourism Week in Harrison County, Madison, and other surrounding counties. A lot of counties have different things rolled out for you to enjoy. So if you haven't vacationed in your own backyard, now's the time to do that. Plus, if you need a car seat check, you can do that in Palmyra at the Palmyra Fire Department Sunday, May 4th. You can roll that out from noon to 2.
Wherever you go, our stations have your music, local news, local sports, and local weather covered. 95.3 WUME brings you today's best hits, along with Paoli sports, local news, and weather. 98.7 WSCZ plays the timeless favorites from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as well as local weather and Orleans high school sports. And 96.9 WKLO keeps it country with all your favorite classic country hits, plus Corridon and North Harrison high school sports, as well as local news and weather. Your soundtrack for Southern Indiana is found on 95.3 WUME, 98.7 WSCZ, and 96.9 WKLO.
And we're back on Southern Indiana Now, and we are honored to have Steve DeWeese with us this morning from Axe Community Theater as part of our Hoosier Good News segment. Thanks so much for joining us, Steve. So excited to talk about theater, especially here in Southern Indiana. So let's talk about what Axe Community Theater is and how it's different from maybe some of the theater you might experience in different cities.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kelly. With Acts, it's kind of a funny thing. We started about 12 years ago. July 1st is going to be our 12th year in business. And the members of Acts have always been part of the local theater community. but we were kind of wanting a theater that could do more than the typical fare. A little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate. We tackle some subjects that are, not as I guess family fun musical stuff. We do some more serious type of gritty dramas and things like that. But we also do some pretty hilarious fun for the whole family type stuff. So we wanted that opportunity to be able to do whatever we wanted wherever the art led us, instead of being slavish to a certain audience. I think that the population's varied enough that there's room for every type of theater. So we started it due to that.
Yeah. If someone wanted to get involved with your theater in Southern Indiana, maybe they just want to do it part-time, whatever the case is, what's the best way they can reach out to you?
Well, everybody pretty much does it part-time because we all have day jobs. It's a community theater and we're a nonprofit. So all the money that we get, we either use it to do our next show, or we donate to different causes. We do have a Facebook page, Actors Community Theater of Seymour Acts. If they ever want to get a hold of us, they can contact us there. We also take submissions for plays. So if somebody wants to direct a play, if they grew up watching a certain play or loving a certain play, call us and tell us you'd like to direct it, and we may select your play and let you direct it and cast it and
super great experience for someone that definitely wants to have some building blocks into maybe a further career down the road or something along those lines. All right, so give me a funny story, funny memory. Maybe one of those like, oh gosh, as embarrassing things. I don't know. We're gonna put you on the spot today, Steve.
There's no shortage in theater of funny stories and funny memories.
Yeah.
Things happen. It's live. You've got the lines memorized, hopefully. So there's always a good opportunity for things like that to happen. I think that the biggest one that comes to mind right now for me is that I was doing a production several years ago of Little Shop of Horrors out at the Pines Evergreen Room, and I had to yell the last name Krellborn, Seymour's character. I was Mr. Mushnick, the flower shop owner. And I had just come back from outside and I realized my cue was about to happen. And so I sprinted to the backstage, and just as I'm getting ready to yell it, one of my friends who's also on the production yelled it for me, and I thought, oh, thank you.
Okay.
So there's no shortage of saves that happen. It's a real collaborative effort.
That takes a village for sure.
It takes a village, absolutely.
All right. So Steve, tell us about the next upcoming show and how people can get tickets.
The next show is going to be, we're actually partnering with SICA, Southern Indiana Center for the Arts. We'll be hosting it there, and it is called This Is Our Youth from Kenneth Lonergan. It was written in 1996, but it takes place in the 80s, and it's a coming-of-age story, two guys and a girl, college age.
So an awesome decade for sure.
Whoa. You're not telling me anything. I was born in 78, so that's where my heart
That's where
lies.
you live.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But we're doing 4 shows. We're doing 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays. The Sundays are matinees. Tickets are $15, and you can get those at ACT Seymour, 1S, ACT Seymour. Ludus is the name of the ticket provider.
Okay.
But it's going to be a very intimate show. We're only going to have between 30 and 60 seats.
Oh, wow.
And we're doing four shows, and all that information's on our Facebook page and on our website. So.
All right. Fantastic. We can definitely get connected with that. And then what's a sneak peek or special, you heard it here first, maybe some shows you're thinking about through the rest of the year someone might want to get involved with?
We've got some pretty big dreams and hopes. Last year, we decided to go to what we call a nomadic format, where we got rid of our brick and mortar, moved out of our brick and mortar establishment that we've had. And so what we are planning to do for the foreseeable future is to co-op with different businesses in Southern Indiana, not necessarily even Jackson County where we're stationed, but all over. And if they have a large enough venue and a good enough idea, we can stage a play absolutely anywhere in Southern Indiana. So that to me is going to bring a lot of art to a lot of Hoosiers who may not have the chance to get to a theater proper. So.
Right. Okay. So wherever you are in Southern Indiana, you can reach out. They may do a play in your backyard. We'll be back on Southern Indiana Now. And that's a wrap for this week. Southern Indiana Now. I want to remind you can download the show at all sorts of places: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, our website, southernindiananow.com. If you have a show idea or something you would like us to feature, you can send us an email at Southern Indiana Now. There's our email right there, and send us a line and we'll be glad to talk with you and get back with you. We want to know where you are and what you're doing and all the sort of fun things happening in and around Southern Indiana. We'll be back next week with a special show lined up for you. We'll have May's forecast. And so if you're thinking about planting, we're going to have our meteorologist, Jeremy Capel, with us, and he'll be able to give you an insight in what to expect for May weather. We'll also have some other things about exploring all things Southern Indiana. We'll be back here next week.